Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy, Mr. Cheap Sense here. Just getting off from work, and this has been on my mind ever since I did my video earlier before I went to my second job. That I was going to do a second video, and I haven't done in a while. I think two videos in one day, but I feel like I want to give this one to you. Uh, I went digging through my through my collection, and I just wanted to pick out some of the fragrances, mainly dealing with clones. I didn't pick out all the ones because obviously I'm not a true frag head to the point where um, I know what each and every fragrance smells like, or if something smells like something else. Because I haven't smelled everything. There are a lot of fragrances I haven't smelled before. Old fragrances, new fragrances. Realistically, I may have smelled Blue de Chanel on someone and didn't know what it was, but I actually honestly didn't smell Blue de Chanel, and it's been out for a little while now. I have honestly smelled it until like maybe a few weeks ago. Um, I just didn't have the desire to smell it because I can't afford it. And I mean, yeah, I can afford it. I can run to the store and spend, 80, 90, 100 and some dollars out of my check, but then somewhere I'd be hurting bill wise. I'm not the most financially stable guy right now, and I'm trying to get myself on track. My credit is kind of jacked up, from some things I did back in the day, but that's a subject for another time. Uh, I understand also that when you talk about clones and clone houses, that subject really rubs some people the wrong way. And me personally, I'm one of the people on the opposite side of the fence when it comes to the higher end or the now fragrances. The fragrance world or the fragrance game, it changes, it evolves. Um, you can look at from where it was back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s up until now. Um, you went through a great metamorphosis, and right now the fragrance industry is really booming. But we're in a phase now where everything is pretty much sweet this and pineapple that and um, fruity this and smoky that, and what I'm saying. It can be overwhelming to some people. Um, I'd say just pick up whatever it is you think that smells good, that's gonna smell good and last on your skin, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Everyone's body chemistry, obviously, and skin is different. Some people's skin are drier than others, even with lotion on and other things like that. Um, some fragrances change once they hit people's skin. Um, what you smell on a tester or a piece of paper may not smell like what it smells like on your skin, or what I'm saying, vice versa. So take that into consideration also. But like I said, when you talk about clone houses and clones of fragrances, people get real testy when it comes to that. Me personally, I feel like if you can't afford to buy a Creed Aventus or a Dior Sauvage or um, some of those other fragrances, Aventus and all that, then I feel like if someone is gonna make something that smells similar to or close to it and affordable for people like me, more power to you, because I'm gonna be right there on that fragrance website or wherever I can pick it up at, and I'm gonna buy it. So if I can not spend three, four, $500 on Creed Aventus or perfume or Parfums de Marly or whatever that brand is, if I can not spend that type of money versus going and spending between 20 to maybe 40, 45 bucks for a cheaper version of that, I'm all for it. I don't know why people get their panties in a wad when it comes to clones and clone houses. Um, it just is what it is, guys. I'm a firm believer in it. So, me personally, I give two fucks about what somebody else thinks about clone houses. As long as they keep putting them out, you best believe I'm gonna keep buying them. I don't have any desire to smell Creed Aventus. I have never smelled it, so honestly, I can't even tell you if Club De Nuit Intense Man is actually a clone of it. I've heard reviewers say that it doesn't smell like it. It's just the nostalgia aspect of it. Like it's very crowd pleasing. It's a compliment getter. Club De Nuit Intense Man. Uh, Aventus smells more pineapple-y and more smoky depending on the batch variation versus Club De Nuit Intense. You may get a fruity batch of it, and the one I got, it doesn't smell like pineapple. It smells more like lemon, but the nostalgia of it, like I get so many compliments when I wear that fragrance each and every time. And it lasts a long time. I sprayed it on a shirt of mine. I washed the shirt, put the shirt on like weeks later, and I can still smell the scent of it in the shirt. So either, it didn't get washed good or that scent is just that good. Um, but anyway, let's get to the comparisons here. Um, First up, I want to do the first two here because honestly, I just tried to look these two fragrances up and I watched unboxing videos, I've watched reviews, and these two fragrances, no one can tell me what exactly these are supposed to be clones of. And the House of Armagh is a clone house. I can't even figure out what they're supposed to be clones of. So if anyone knows, let me know. And if I can get my hands on the fragrance that you are telling me that this is supposed to be a clone of, I can tell you myself. But right now, I don't know. So these are my honorable mentions. One of them is from Armagh. This is Eau de Parfum, and this is Voyage Brown. And I know Voyage Blue is supposed to be a clone of Bleu de Chanel. I have smelled it, and you do get a little of Bleu de Chanel in it. It's not exact. You're never going to get exact. I don't even think it's 90 something percent. I think it's more like maybe 70 something percent Bleu de Chanel. I didn't even bother purchasing it. I mean, it's a decent fragrance, but I just didn't purchase it. I purchased this one instead because this one was a little nicer to me. But I don't know what this is supposed to be a clone of. And if you know or you can find out, please direct me to the information so I can know for myself. This is a pretty decent presentation. I mean, kind of cheesy and cheap because this is a plastic top. It is magnetic though, so that's pretty cool. I wouldn't recommend holding it by the top, although I am right now, but it will fall off. The blue one, obviously, instead of having this supposedly leather wrap in brown, it's in blue for the other one. But if anyone knows what this is supposed to be a clone of, please leave a comment down below and I can check it out. This is Voyage Brown. And my next honorable mention, and if you know what this one is supposed to be a clone of, please let me know also. This is Seville. Pour Homme. This is also Eau de Parfum by Armagh. And this is a pretty good scent. Not one of my favorites. I actually let the guy who sold it to me talk me into it in the mall. And it's really not bad. It's actually pretty decent. I just don't know what it's supposed to be a clone of. I honestly can't tell you. So if you know what Seville and Armagh's Voyage Brown is supposed to be a clone of, please let me know. Next up, if you've ever heard of Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio, you know already what I'm about to pull out and show you that everyone says is a decent clone, or not decent, a great clone, not even a clone, really an alternative to Acqua di Gio. It smells similar to it, except it has a spicy accord to it, and that is Perry Ellis 360 Red. And yes, I have smelled Acqua di Gio, and I like it. It is dated. It's still a popular scent because that price has not came down in the least bit, and I refuse to buy it. I purchased this one because you can buy these all the way up to, I think, a 200 ml bottle, and you can get it for like 20, 25, 30 bucks. I think I paid like maybe 15 or 20 for this one, and I'm not sure exactly what size this one is. I can't even read that little print on the bottom, but as you can see, I have worn it a little in the past. I have so many fragrances that I rarely even have time to wear my older stuff, but this is one of the first ones I purchased when I first started my collection. Um, so Acqua di Gio, if you can't afford Acqua di Gio, or you're like me who really has no desire to pay full retail for a dated fragrance, pick this one up. You can't go wrong. Next up, let's go with this one. This is also an Armaf fragrance, and this one is Aura, and this is also Eau de Parfum, kind of the same type bottle as Voyage Brown. It's similar to it. It's also magnetic, pretty cheap top. Atomizer is decent. This one actually smells damn similar or close to Invictus. And if anyone has ever smelled Invictus, Invictus is very crowd pleasing, a great club scent. I don't own Invictus because a coworker of mine has it, and that's pretty much his, damn near his only fragrance, if not his signature scent that I've ever smelled him wear. I just don't want to purchase it because he has it, and I don't like smelling like other people. So I actually found Invictus Intense, and I've only worn this one maybe once or twice. This is a little more mature and not so bubblegummy as they say the original Invictus is, but this doesn't smell like this one. I'm just using this bottle as an example so you'll know exactly what fragrance I'm talking about. The original Invictus is clear, not dark like this one, and I don't even think that this juice is dark. I just think the bottle itself is dark. So a more mature fragrance. This one is intense versus the original, but that is what Aura is supposed to mimic or smell like. Invictus. And next up, another Armaf, and as you can tell, I like Armaf a lot. Some of their other fragrances I'm not really interested in, because I'm not interested in the clone of it. But this one I had to have, number one, because of the bottle. And I want to order the other one, which is a white and green bottle, which is the Derby Clubhouse Blanche. This one is Derby Clubhouse Gold. And this has that note of pineapple in it. And I love this fragrance. I actually, when I first smelled the clone of this, or the actual fragrance that this is mimicking, I was actually in love with that fragrance until I smelled this one. And the one I'm talking about is Mont Blanc's Legend. This has that same pineapple note, although this one, that same pineapple note is a lot more stronger and prominent. This fragrance lasts way longer than Mont Blanc Legend. It projects better. The longevity is better. And for the price, I didn't even pay for this one. Someone I was dating at the time purchased this one for me. And I don't know what she paid for it, but I know she bought it from a um, retail store. And I told her she could have bought this for like 35, 45 bucks at TJ Maxx. In the store, this probably ran her about 70, 80 bucks. This one ran me probably about 20 something to 30 something dollars for a 100 ml bottle versus this one, which is only 50 mils. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. But Derby Clubhouse Gold is the clone of Mont Blanc Legend. And if you don't believe me, smell it for yourself side by side. I actually have Mont Blanc Legend here, and it's not as loud or as strong as this. I don't even have to spray this one. I can smell it because I sprayed it on the top through the atomizer. And I can tell you that this one is more dominant than this one. Next up, one that I smelled finally. I got my hands on it. I've contemplated buying it, and I've never smelled the actual fragrance this one is a clone of. So I honestly can't tell you that it is a clone of it. I'm just going off of what other people say. And I actually was watching a video earlier at work, and he said that this fragrance actually isn't that close to Green Irish Tweed. It's more closer to another fragrance in which I can't remember the name of it. Something I've never heard of. But obviously, if you heard me just say Green Irish Tweed, then you already know this is also by the House of Armagh. This is Tres Nuit. This is a great scent. I wore this to work one day, and I got mad compliments. I was in the State Patrol office earlier that day renewing my license, and I caused a little uproar in there. Some women were going crazy about what I had on. They say this is supposed to have been the clone of GIT, Green Irish Tweed by Creed. I've never smelled it, nor do I have a notion to smell it because of that price. And I'm sorry if I offend people. Actually, I'm not sorry because I give two shits. The price difference is just ridiculous to me. I'd much rather pay the price I paid for this versus $100 and something, $200, $300 for whatever Creed is offering. Maybe if I was rich or was more well off financially, I could afford those fragrances. But right now, I'm happy with what I have. So if you don't have this one, check this one out also. It's pretty good. I like it. Next up, Dior Sauvage. What is that? What is it for me to say about Sauvage that hasn't already been said? Me personally, I refuse to pay the price tag for that fragrance. Plus, I'm not really too much of a big fan of it because of that strong pepper note that it has. I don't like that. When I heard that Armagh had a clone of it, I wanted to try it out. I bought it. It was reasonably priced. I can't talk right now. And I was happy with my purchase, except for the bottle presentation, which is cheesy as fuck. But it's not about the bottle. It's more about the fragrance inside the bottle. And this is Ventana by Armagh. which is a clone of Dior Sauvage. Smells similar to it to me. It just does not have that pepper note. And I get a lot of compliments each time I wore this. I think I wore this maybe a total of 3 times since I've had it. It's a damn good scent. I also have, there's another clone that I have of this. I can't remember the name of it. Whatever it was. But anyway, there is another clone of it. I can't remember the name of it, but this one is, to me, the best because it doesn't have that pepper note in it. So if you haven't checked out Ventana by Armaf, check it out. Or you can just stick with Dior Sauvage. I mean, I'm not hating. Me personally, like I always say, I just can't afford that price tag. It is what it is. Next up, when you talk about Creed's Aventus, which is, everyone thinks, the holy grail of fragrances, the king of fragrances. Yeah, you are the king. I haven't smelled it, but for that price tag, you can be the king of whatever the fuck you want to be a king of. I'm not purchasing that shit. Sorry. And that's just my personal opinion. If I ruffled your damn feathers by talking about your fragrance, fuck you. It is what it is. When I heard that Armaf had a fragrance that was a clone of that one, I was interested in it and I purchased it, and I think I paid about $35 for it. And like I said, I've never smelled Aventus, and for that price tag, I don't think I ever will. But what I've heard other reviewers say, that this really doesn't smell that similar to Creed's Aventus, because this smells more lemony, and this is Club de Nuit Intense, man. It smells more like lemon than pineapple. But who gives two shits? It's just the nostalgia aspect of it. The amount of compliments you get, the hype behind it when it came out, is really what skyrocketed this fragrance to the top of clone houses. And I'm happy I purchased this one. Now they do say that there are 2 variations also of this one. One is a fruity batch, and one is, I guess, a smoky batch. But I'm not sure. I never really checked to see which batch I have here. I really don't care, because every time I put this on, I get compliments like crazy. It just is what it is, and that's the bottom line, because Mr. Cheap Sense said so. Anyway, last but not least, I never really thought about this until I heard another reviewer say this, and then I sprayed these 2 side by side and I smelled them, and I was like, you know what? They wasn't lying, because this fragrance does smell damn similar to it. And the original one that the other fragrance is mimicking is of Versace Eros. Great clubbing scent. I wore this to work a couple of days ago. If you've seen my video on this one, you know what you get with this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already have it. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call. So anyway, we were talking about Versace Eros. And you know what kind of scent this is. This is very crowd pleasing, a great club scent. Very crowd pleasing, as I already said. And the fragrance that I said that mimics this, and I didn't pay it any attention until I put them side by side. And mind you, I'm not saying that they smell identical, or that this is actually a clone of it. but they do smell alike. Although the fragrance I'm about to show you may be, as they say in the fragrance world, smell synthetic, in which I hate that fucking word. I hate when they say, stuff like that, but they say it may smell generic or synthetic. I still love this fragrance out of all of the other fragrances from this house. This one is Oxford Blue. And Oxford Blue to me is a great scent. Although it doesn't have the same, I'm not good at picking notes, but whatever is in this that makes it smell as sweet as it does, it's in here, but it's not as strong as it is in this one. But they do smell similar. And if you don't believe me, I mean, you can find these pretty cheap. Like, I got this in a four piece set for Christmas, around Christmas time, on sale for like 15, 20 bucks or something like that, 10 bucks. It was this one, and it was like 3 other small ones in the package with this one. But this one to me smelled the best. And I don't know, whatever it is that's in this one, it has to be the same note that's in this one. But it's just not as strong. But these two do smell damn similar. So if you can't afford to purchase Versace Eros, in which this is, I think, a 30 or 40 mil bottle, 40 mil I think this is, and I think I spent like 40 some odd dollars for this, and it came with like a shower gel and something else around Christmas time. You can purchase this one. You can find these for about 15 to 20 bucks, maybe 25 depending on where you get it, at your local Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington, Bells, places like that, discounted stores. Online, you're going to pay for a full-size bottle of this like 60 bucks. I wouldn't do it unless you absolutely have to have it. But if you can find this at a discount or somewhere, that way. But this is a good alternative to Versace Eros. And I feel what you're saying, Sean. I wear clones with no problem. Also, I don't give 2 fucks about what nobody else says, because 9 times out of 10, the idiot that says something about a fragrance, they're gonna smell you and either smell good or they don't like it. They're not gonna be able to tell you what the fuck it is. It's to me, it's apples and oranges. It's not like you gonna come outside with a pair of fake Jordans on and people are gonna notice it because they can see it. With fragrances, you can't see a damn fragrance unless you actually show them the bottle, like, hey, this is what I got on today. Or you tell them out of your mouth, hey, I got on Versace Eros today. Or I got on Oxford Blue today. Or I got on, Mont Blanc Legend. They ain't not gonna know unless you tell them or you show them. So, alright, my bad, y'all. I keep getting these phone calls, late night phone calls, people checking up on me and shit. But anyway, yeah, I don't have any problem with clones. Me personally, I would much rather wear a clone or an alternative to something like a Ventus or Bleu de Chanel or Dior Sauvage, or those higher price fragrances. I would much rather spend between 15 and 30, $40, maybe 50, depending on what the fragrance is, versus paying 100, 200 and upwards on a fragrance any day. Some of those fragrances you will order, and you may be able to order just one fragrance for like $250, like Parfums de Marly. I was looking at one earlier today online, and it said that fragrance was like $249 or $279 or some shit like that. And I was like, nah. You know what I could do with $100 on Fragrance X? How many fragrances I can purchase for that price? Do you know what I could purchase on Fragrance X or one of them other websites for $270 something versus being able to just buy one? Nah, not me, homeboy. Sorry. Y'all can keep that overpriced stuff. I'm not crapping on people who can afford it because I can't. And I'm not sitting here, don't get it twisted. I'm not sitting here saying that those are not good fragrances or not great fragrances. I haven't smelled most of those fragrances. I've smelled Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. I haven't smelled anything from Parfums de Marly. I haven't smelled anything from Creed. I haven't smelled anything from, some of those other lines. I have smelled some Dior's. I have smelled, the Invictus and stuff like that, the Paco Rabannes. Some of that stuff I can't afford because I can find them discounted in certain places. But other than that, I mean, I just can't fork out that kind of money. And that's one reason why I steer clear of niche, because I don't want to get pulled into that world and then I'm spending, 80, 90, 100 and something dollars on fragrances and upwards on those fragrances, and they not pan out. They're not the fragrance that I thought they were going to be. They don't smell the way I thought they were going to smell because, like I said, on paper and skin, two different things sometimes. Take Derby Clubhouse Gold, for instance. You can sit here and smell it all day coming out this bottle, and it's going to smell great to some people. But once it hits your skin, what is it going to smell like? And are you going to be more pissed that you spent 20 something to 30 something dollars for this, or are you gonna be more mad that you spent 200 and something dollars on, like Parfums de Marly, Pegasus or something like that? I'd be more pissed off that I spent that kind of money versus this, even though money is money. So it is what it is, man. I mean, everyone has their taste. Everyone has what they like. Everyone buys what they want to buy. You do your thing. Stay in your lane. I do my thing. I stay in my lane. My videos are for people like me and you guys who are watching, who like those cheapies, who like clones. So everyone else, you don't even have to watch my videos. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like, share, comment. You don't have to do none of that. You can stay on the other side of that fence. I'm happy over here where I am. This is one guy you don't have to worry about switching up game. Like I watched a video earlier today, and the guy said that he literally gave up on the niche game. Not completely, but he's given up because a lot of the stuff that he's purchased niche wise, they may smell good on paper, but when they hit his skin, most of the time they didn't work out for him, and he upset because he spent so much money buying sample bottles and buying niche whole retail price niche fragrances, and they just didn't work for him. Like, he really didn't want to walk out the house smelling like, whatever it was that the fragrance turned into, because he didn't like it. So I'm gonna stick to my guns. I like these cheapies. I do plan on cutting this off somewhere, because I do have to get my life and things in order. My kids, I have a daughter that's about to graduate high school, and I got a 14-year-old son that, he's still in school that's going to need also. So, I got to start doing a little more in that aspect also. So I'm still going to bring you guys videos, and if I run across some good cheapies, you best believe I'm going to bring them to you. So this is the end of my video. Anyone who checks it out, please remember, if you can tell me what Seville and Voyage Brown by Armaf are supposed to be clones of, because they are clone houses. This is a clone house. Please let me know. And if you know of any good clones, please leave the comments below so I can check those out. And I've been looking for a good Blue Day Chanel clone. Um, I already said uh, Voyage Blue was a clone. Tag Him has been referred to me, but Tag Him has a harsh opening and really doesn't smell that much like Blue Day Chanel. I think Armoff has one or two other clones that's supposed to be um, clones of Blue Day Chanel, in which I'm kind of nervous about trying out. Someone also said Perry Ellis, the one with the clear center, the green center. They said that is supposed to be a good, decent clone. I just can't find it. Every time I look it up online, it's either sold out or something like that. So if I run across it, I think I seen it in Ross, but being that it was a Perry Ellis fragrance, and I really wasn't into Perry Ellis until I bought this one. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have like 4 or 5 other 4, 5. I got like 5 or 6 other Perry Ellis fragrances that I purchased. So I am advocate now of Perry Ellis. Um, most of their fragrances, not all of them, but I do want to find that one with that green clear center. They said that it's supposed to be a clone of Blue Day Chanel or a close cousin to it. Say, um, I hope to find that one sometime soon.